March 17th, 2015, in the amount of $809,195.97. March 17th, 2015, in the amount of $1,171,839.01. March 25th, 2015, in the amount of $111,776.76. March 30th, 2015, in the amount of $169,979.67. March 31st, 2015, in the amount of $504,672.78. March 31st, 2015, in the amount of $265,413.21. March 31st, 2015, in the amount of $10,659.10. March 31st, 2015, in the amount of $385,851.61. April 9th, 2015, in the amount of $110,904.48. April 14th, 2015, in the amount of $750,930.04. April 14th, 2015, in the amount of $466,672.98. March 19th, 2015, in the amount of $5,731.87. March 25th, 2015, in the amount of $51,907.50. Actually, if I can go back, my March 19th is a wire transfer dated March 19th in the amount of $5,731.81. And an additional wire transfer on March 25th, 2015, in the amount of $51,907.50. A wire transfer dated March 25th, 2015, in the amount of $34,595. A wire transfer dated April 7th, 2015, in the amount of $50,000, as provided by the clerk's office, and authorize that warrants be drawn from the treasury for same.
There's a motion out there to approve bills.
He made the motion, I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. We'll do that as a roll call vote, actually. There's a star next to it. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Holzhausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider.
Yes.
Commissioner Root.
Yes.
Commissioner Bart.
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman.
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath.
Yes.
Commissioner Alley.
Yes. I'll move along to communications. This is normally the Holzhausen Corporate Show. We'll move first to Commissioner Snyder and the Agriculture Preservation.
Sorry to say that, once again, it never met.
All right. Thank you. Move along to the Central Dispatch Board and Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Commissioner Huntley, we have not met.
You guys agree with this one? Always trustworthy, Commissioner Horvath. Region 5, what can you tell me?
Well, with Region 5, we're primarily focusing, the last Region 5 meeting, we primarily focused on what will be Region 6, which is the inclusion of the plum area and expansion of that whole area. So this will be the turn. I've also been attending some Region 6 meetings and so forth, so that we're all familiar with that. This will take that region to Shiawassee County, clear over to Fort Huron. I think the only county that may not be included in that region will be St. Clair, even though they do appear at the meetings as well. But that's just a little present delay. Everything's going well. At the Region 5 meeting, however, we did discuss some cautions we want to make sure to take regarding certain matters of liabilities and so forth when it comes to some of the things that we're considering working with in terms of regional developments with the Michigan Works program. So we did discuss, just wanting to make certain about certain things that we want to check out. So, and as I understand it, even talking with the fishing works people, you know, they understand, and there is some adjustments that are being made to that program since we had our presentation before.
So we were originally going to vote this month on making that change, but due to liability, we pushed back.
Well, it's not just liability, it's just concerns. And
Okay.
so we want to get a few things ironed out.
Okay.
What we want. Yeah.
Thank you. Now we'll move to the Mental Health Authority Board. What's all the board at?
Things are, again, going well there. They are, well, this Friday, I'm meeting because of the nominations committee to recommend the board positions as far as that goes. We filled these spots just recently. We do have another opening. I think that there's an ad in the paper right now for to submit applications for another opening that will be taking place in that board. One of the members who is a physician just has got some schedule conflicts and doesn't feel as though they can continue to fill the role.
Midwest Michigan Authority Board.
That's a fun announcement. We've got our ribbon cutting ceremony that will take place in St. John's at the Depot Pavilion. There at 11 o'clock on Saturday. There are some people who will be riding their bicycles over from Smith Road. There are some people who will be meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning at the House of Wheels that will be taking their bikes over to that ribbon cutting. I've been out on the trail. It is a little bit surprisingly soft when you enter from Smith Road. And I will say that I'm not ready. I'm not geared up yet. Not in shape yet.
Oh, great fun.
To make that run, to make the run to St. John's on that kind of a surface. And so I just want to suggest some precaution in that regard.
We were told that the limestone would harden over time, and it's still not there. And it takes you a little ways to, if you're going through on your bike, to get through. But for those parties interested, 107 East Railroad Street is the St. John's Depot Pavilion, again, 11 a.m. this Saturday. We'll move to MTA. I was the speaker at the last MTA meeting, great turnout, great conversation. Township Supervisor Miller got his workout in, up and down, back and forth, informing us of all the important things. We'll move along to Parks and Rec. Commissioner Barnes.
We did not meet, but at this time, I guess, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and just give a real brief update on Mystigate Creek.
Perfect.
I have the notes here. I didn't actually attend the last meeting. It was during the day. I was unable to, but I have the notes here. One of the most significant things is they're still trying to limit the construction cost to $4 million on that project, which would still mean about a $6 to $6.5 million payoff with interest and charges that have already been incurred. They're really not getting anywhere on it. It's working away, and I don't know, that's being resolved. I don't know if Commissioner Olshausen has anything to add to that. I think you were at that meeting.
Yeah, I've been at several meetings and sat there for 3 or 4 hours and listened to them talk. So very exciting. At least we got Jeff right on board from Genesee County to kind of eliminate it. So it's not over 10 million, so maybe that's a possibility. And if he still keeps up his word.
We can keep him on board.
Yeah.
I think we can get the project down to where we want it to.
Yeah, I was there, and the other board members, they were really,
They got really
Saginaw
mad
County
at
was
it.
upset, and the state guy was.
Actually,
we can't
Saginaw
do that.
County's trying to add even more
Yeah.
scope to the project, and we're saying, these guys are saying, you know, it's fine if you want that stuff, but you need to pay for it. We're not adding more stuff. We're already over budget. So.
I still have concerns with the firm, but we'll go forward with that. Public Health, Commissioner Olshausen and Horvath. How do you feel about public health?
Well, there's actually always good things to report from our public health department. You know, I think, Larry, if you're here, sometimes it helps to refer to Larry to tell him all of our developments. Do you have any real highlights that we can talk about?
You know, we talked at length about the vaccination push that we're working on in our county to improve those vaccination rates for our children. Instead of being towards the bottom third of the counties in the state of Michigan, we'd like to move that up. And we've got some efforts underway at the health department to address that. It's kind of a big push that I'm working on right now too. That's kind of the main thing we're pushing forward on.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Commissioner Plowman, solid waste.
Bill, but I've been telling everyone at MTA and everything about the monies that are still coming from waste management. And Larry announced that we're going to have some more than one hazardous waste pick up on a Saturday. We're getting that around. We'll try to do something. We'll probably do one in South County or two, maybe at the Morris Transfer Station or something like that, hazardous materials. But we have to coordinate it. The people picking it up, they got to be able to be available to do it, which is kind of important. And so on and so forth. We're going to try to get a meeting together here real soon. We were trying to get it here for the middle of April, but that didn't happen. We're trying to later April, first part of April.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioner Olshausen on the DA8.
Yeah, I was at a meeting this morning. I'm on the bylaw committee, on several other committees, and I was kind of surprised. I've been on several committees, and they call in on a telephone, and they said if you call in on a telephone, they're not part of the quorum. So you have to be present to be a quorum. And I didn't know if anybody else knew that, but a lot of the other meetings, according to his law, or according to the lawyer that says that, so, I mean, I have several other ones, so I don't know if they know that for sure or not.
It's true.
I thought it was kind of enlightening to me this morning, so.
Well, then you're done for the day. You've learned what you did.
Yeah.
Council on Aging, Commissioner Horvath, Olshausen.
I attended the school meeting was just yesterday. I guess there wasn't, most of the discussion is related to the maintenance of these buildings, particular facility over in Morris, which, you know, they're always having to work through leaky ceiling and those type of issues. It's just the fact, it's just the dynamics of the building and what they're working with there. And their financial standings, it is surprising how well things are going in their operation. They seem to have a lot of good feeling and support and a good balance in their operation.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move to the first opportunity for the public to address the board. Mr. Shepherd.
Well, I'd like to address the board in consideration of hiring officials, whether their position is part-time or full-time, to fill a vacancy when we're trying to make budget cuts throughout the county, and the questioning of that. How are they going to fund that if we're trying to make all the budget cuts? Same goes for, I addressed it earlier this week, on the cost of the maintenance for these buildings. Is that the lowest cost, or is it just billing from a buddy system?
Commissioner Poyer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Horvath was talking about GLS Region 5 and the subcommittee, the steering committee, and one of the things that they have done is they have a committee studying the strengths of this region, and one of the things that come out of that meeting the other day was the fact that out of the state. Shiawassee County ranks number 3 in fiber optics cable that's been strung in mileage. So, just a heads up.
Thank you, sir. I'll move to the Board of Commissioners discussion. If anybody has anything they'd like to present this time. If not, we can move into the committee reports. All right, committee of the whole, Commissioner Root.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation of council on the EQ landfill case.
Any discussion? If not, we'll move to a roll call vote on this.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Burks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Corbett?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Burks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Corbett?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott?
Yes.
That concludes our report.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Corbett.
Ready to do minutes.
Is that the button?
Oh, it isn't it? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve resolution 150411, reaffirming Shiawassee County's commitment to fair housing laws.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Commissioner Burks?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Corbett?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott?
Yes.
I guess we'll just have a little discussion of the matter on the list here, which is if any committees would function better if any of the commissioners were on those committees. Each day in which we've addressed this issue, meetings this week, we just added a few more items to this. I don't know if we've had any developments yet. I believe Commissioner Howard you mentioned that would like to get our legal advice about making changes of this type. I do think some real good ideas have come from our discussion to this point. One of them, I think the most important, of the more important aspects of this whole thing is the ability, I think, for the people who are heads of departments to be able to bring forward to our finance committee their understandings of the budget and share those with all of us so that we have a much better understanding of ourselves. And I think that would be a key thing, especially in the absence of an active administrator. That those things somehow we have to have this information presented to us in as understandable of a fashion as possible, considering that is our primary role. So I want to open this discussion and continue with discussions about what we can do to change things so that we're able to do that.
Efficient and effective. Definitely something we will look into and talk about more in May. This is something I'd like to include maybe bring the budget calendar forward in May rather than in June, a month earlier, and work in some joint work sessions where everybody can participate and kind of collaborate, if you will. Thank you.
My only question would be, would you like the committee, just the finance committee, or all committees to have us all on, or is it your idea to have us all on finance until we have an administrator or someone in that role, or for the foreseeable future?
To be honest, at least from just my own perspective, you know, other counties, I believe are functioning. There are some other counties. I know Ionian was one of them because I worked with some of the commissioners and so forth that are from those counties and their commissioner, their chairmen, and you know they recommend that it be handled that way, even though they have an administrator. A lot of it is because of the fact that, you know, I mean, what you end up with only 3 members is you end up with the difficulty of having the discussions without creating the element of having a meeting that is not an announced meeting. You only have 3 members, you know, and 2 people talking, you got yourself a meeting. And that's an unfortunate circumstance, so I realize that, you know, that really there wouldn't be any legal element there if any decision was made, and it was just information. But it's difficult to be sure that that's not the case, I guess, for everybody. Secondly, everybody on this board, I believe, needs to understand the budget process. It can't just be, you know, wing it. Everybody has to understand the budget process, and I think, you know, when you've served on the board of commissioners, you should be able to go away and say, hey, you know, I understand financing regarding the county. I think currently that's not necessarily the case. And even when we have an administrator, I think it's more important that we understand it, and as a guideline, when we do hire an administrator, we want to make sure that it's somebody who wants us to understand it. And not just, hey, take my word for it. So that's my spin on it.
I do have a comment too. I agree with John, as is, and I used last night as a perfect example, even though a subject was brought up in committee earlier and was voted down, it was brought up again last night and put before the board, and it passed. Basically, it makes that committee ineffective. So either we have the committee and whatever they decide stands, or we invite everybody to show up at every committee, and then we won't ever have this happen again. You know, you either stand by the committee's decisions or not. That's all.
We can move to item C if you'd like, no further discussion.
That's fine. We'll continue this discussion again.
Next one.
Well, we'll go on to a motion to approve the minutes for April 13th, 2015 Economic and Physical Development meeting.
For any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same?
Making sure to finish your
Commissioner Brew.
I'd like to make a motion to approve budget amendments 15-4 and 15-5.
Support.
Any further discussion? If not, we move to a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Plummer?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath? Commissioner Horvath?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Sorry.
It'll take a second, he's thinking.
No,
I can hear it grinding over here.
John, it's the first one.
Yeah. I apologize, I was on the wrong line.
Yep. You're looking at B, we're doing A.
Okay.
Yeah, what's my line, John?
Okay, thank Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Bird,
Yes.
Commissioner Arnold.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve resolution 15-04-07 to terminate the Board of Commissioners' participation in the Shiawassee County Health Plan.
Second.
Discussion?
I think I'm going to explain why I sat here and hesitated for a moment. Yeah, because I actually thought we were on this question. And I do want to mention the fact that I really do believe that we have to always look at how we're compensating, especially now because of all the issues that we've got throughout the whole county. How we're compensating people and taking care of the roles that must be filled. I want to be sure that we're always thinking these things through. And I don't know how to challenge this board. Well, I want to think, first of all, I want to say I want to be responsible for everything this board does. I don't want to be walking away here, regardless of how I vote, and not being able to say that, I'm still proud to be a member of this Board of Commissioners, and we make decisions based on what we feel is right. The reason I'm going to be voting no on this particular item is, first of all, because I think we're making too much. We're trying to respond to, perhaps the commitments we made to the people who sponsor members of this board in offering advertising and a variety of situations. And I just find that to be disturbing. I don't believe that our contributors are the people who put the votes in. Well, first of all, I can't believe that because I represent the district that elected me, and my opponent was the one that got that advertising. So here I stand. One criticism that came across from one of the people who represent the group that has advertised for so many of our board members, and a personal email sent to me, and this is very similar to the comments she made in the paper. But one of the things she criticized the board, the previous board for, was that no longer our commissioners are going to be able to do what they think is fit. Instead, they need to respond to what the voters want, because they claim themselves to be the voters' choice. And I just find that to be a very hard pill to swallow. I think, I believe that the voters want us to do what we think is fit. And that's why they put us in here. So, I want to challenge this board to do what they think is fit. And in the matter of this particular item, I believe we need to change the compensation package. But my vote against this is to say, well, let's not change it until we're ready to have that discussion. Just to make that clear.
Anyone else?
I agree with John. His is in, we work for the people in our districts. My district is everybody I've talked to, and which is a lot of them, all want to know why the commissioners are getting so much for less than a part-time job. And it's been brought up over the last few days is that, yeah, it's not a huge amount of money that's going to be saved. But with that being said, we're asking every department in the county to make cuts. Why shouldn't we? They expect us to. Many of us promise to. And I think it's doing the right thing. Thank you.
If nothing further, I would just like to make 3 points. And first is, campaign and governance are separate. For me, I am doing what the people of District 1 want. And that's a clerk, a township clerk, and a township supervisor who said in the last 2 weeks, bring this forward until it passes every single month. And they did not donate a thing to my campaign. 2, we have a legal opinion from our law firm that states we do not work enough hours per week to be considered full-time employees. 3, we have a prosecutor who is looking for help, a good problem to have because MSP is doing a wonderful job, that will cost $27,500 the rest of this year. The dollars we saved with this change would pay for that in year 1. In year 2, that person could go full-time and we could hire a part-time person in the treasurer's office who's been asking for someone part-time for 5 years. Year 3, we can go full-time the prosecutor, full-time the treasurer, and add a part-time somewhere else. This is to help our county employees, their offices. This is, I think, what is a common sense fiscal decision to help our employees and to do what our voters have asked, regardless of contributions. That's all I have to say. If nothing further, Madam Clerk, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Horvath?
No.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Burns?
No.
Commissioner Plummer?
No.
Commissioner Elway?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 15-4-08 to terminate the Board of Commissioners' participation in the Shiawassee County Pension Plan.
I second that.
Any discussion?
I'm not gonna say a lot, but just want to, I do want to reemphasize what I hope will be a discussion regarding compensation generally for commissioners, and that we put very, very deep thought into every position in this county. As we're looking at things in the future. I want to see us responding to our budgetary needs based on our understanding of our budgetary needs.
Sir?
I don't think this is a very big item. You have to be here 10 years and it'd only be a couple $100 a month, so it's very little. I don't know if anybody's even going to be here 10 years, so commissioners. Very seldom anybody's here that long.
This is true, but
One in 1,000 they would be here 10 years.
this is true, and I think for John's sake, we should be looking at a 401k system going forward where you're in control of your own money, and maybe the county would match up to a certain percentage, 3% or some sort. But definitely, I think the shift to a defined contribution is necessary, and I think this is a small piece of moving that forward, as previously stated yesterday. So, if nothing further, we can move to a roll call vote.
Commissioner?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. Next time, cough.
I have no problem with that tonight. I want to say, is without getting in trouble with my wife, is that a very wise person told me once is that if you're a commissioner for over 10 years, you're a slow learner. When we shouldn't be here And just for that, we really do need to think about the people that put us in office. And yeah, it's a small amount of money, but again, every penny saved, because it can go towards another employee being on the books instead of being out on the street.
I foresee discussions on term limits. Nothing further. Madam Clerk, will the roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Olshausen,
No.
Commissioner Schneider,
Yes.
Commissioner Root,
Yes.
Commissioner Burns,
No.
Commissioner Plowman,
No.
Commissioner Horvath,
No.
Commissioner Arnold.
Yes.
I move to authorize the county clerk to hire a deputy circuit court clerk to refill a vacancy at pay grade 3 with a salary range of $24,774 to $30,309.
Support.
Any discussion on this? Questions, comments? If not, Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Schneider,
Yes.
Commissioner Root,
Yes.
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath,
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Arnold.
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize prosecutor to hire an assistant prosecutor to refill a vacancy at pay grade 10, the salary range of $45,248 or $84 to $55,402.
Support.
Any discussion?
Yes, I do, please. And I understand, I really do understand his prosecutor's dilemma. She did, her office did take a budget cut like so many of the others. And it's only natural that when you lose a person from your office, that everybody's going to have to roll up their sleeves and tighten their belts and do all that stuff and expect a heavier workload. But we're asking all of the other departments to do it. And because just because the workload did increase, are we going to allow the other departments to come in and say, well, my work has gotten tougher and I'm doing more and doing more. I want to hire another person and get them back on the books. That just shoots our whole reason for the budget cuts away. I don't agree that we should be doing this.
Thank you. My take on that would be they did make the cuts and did roll over their sleeves, but outside factors, with MSP coming in, there was no way to foresee what would happen when last year's changes came into effect, and therefore I think it is necessary. If you would like,
I guess I don't understand, if we have people out in this community committing crimes, are we saying that we're not going to prosecute them? Just let them go?
No, not at all.
There's nobody to do the work. What are you going to do? You get a timely, if you're arrested, you have a right to a timely trial, a timely, everything else that goes along with it. If we can't fulfill them obligations, people are not going to be able to be prosecuted.
it's
Chairman.
just to refill a vacancy.
Yeah, this position is a refill of a budgetary position.
Yes. It's,
This
I have an
is
assistant.
2015 budget.
I have an assistant that announced last week that he's taking a job with the Prosecuting Attorneys Association. So this is over and beyond the cut that I took last year. I would effectively be running the office with myself and 2 assistants to prosecute all the criminal cases if this position isn't refilled.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Please.
Commissioner Root,
Yes.
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath,
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider,
No.
Commissioner Aoi.
Yes.
A motion to approve the MERS defined plan, benefit plan, adoption agreement for Division 16 Health Clerical with an effective date of April 1, 2015 authorize the county clerk to sign the same.
Support.
Discussion? Nothing further, roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize replacement of panels and breakers in the courts and health building in the amount of $19,520 to be paid out of the capital improvement fund account 401-267-970.
Support.
Any discussion? If nothing further, roll call vote, please. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize replacement of the south wing roof at the corrections building in the amount of $41,582 from account 101-267-970.
Support.
Any further discussion? If nothing, Madam Clerk, with the roll call vote.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Move to authorize the replacement of the Surbeck building roof in the amount of $26,800 to be paid out of the capital improvement fund account 401-267-970.
Support.
Any discussion? If nothing further, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes. And just to note that these all are competitively bid out.
I move to approve resolution 15-04-12, adoption of county equalization 2015, authorize the board chair and county clerk to sign Form L-4024.
Support.
Any discussion?
Just one discussion on, again, we have a little uptick in valuations. So last year was a tiny uptick, and this is a little bit better of a tiny uptick, but at least it's not regressing as it had for 5 or 6 years.
Thank you. Nothing further? Madam Clerk, with the roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
I move to approve resolution 15-04-10 to apply for community development block grant funds in the amount of $300,000 for the next grant cycle to fund the Shiawassee County Housing Rehabilitation Program.
Support.
Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Lastly, I'll just make a motion to approve the minutes for the April 13th, 2015 County Finance and Administration.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same.
That concludes my report. Thank you.
Mr. Bartz?
Can I, motion to allow the prosecutor to go back to staffing levels of 2014 and fund it through the end of the year.
Support.
Any further discussion? Nothing further? Madam Clerk, with a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Bartz?
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman?
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath?
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen?
No.
Commissioner Schneider?
No.
Commissioner Root?
Yes.
Commissioner Audi?
Yes.
Motion to encourage the Fair Board to adhere to the policy of no alcohol at all on the fairgrounds and to honor that provision.
Second.
Any further discussion on this?
What is your stance? Just approving this and that's it at this point?
I think so, unless we want to move forward with a joint letter or something, but I think at this point we should, without that Levi gentleman here to explain what their new policy and enforcement.
Are we gonna try to get that Mr. Levi to come back? I'm sorry, Bob, was Levi's Dunick gonna come back at some point and explain
I have
anything
no
more?
idea. I spoke to him during the break yesterday, but I seen he got up and left in the middle of the meeting, so. I don't know anything about it.
I would say at this point, we'll just leave it as is, and if they proceed and bring us more information, we could concur a little bit more.
Commissioner Wolf?
Yeah, I think they have their own board and we don't have control over it, so I think they can handle it. They're big people over there. So.
Thank you.
I don't think we're necessarily telling them what to do, we're just trying to show good faith and show that they need to adhere to their policies, you know. I don't think I'm trying to tell them what to do, I mean, they are their own board. And
We just tell them, oh yeah, you can't do this stuff.
Correct?
Are we, that's all we're saying?
Yeah, I think
At this point, motion to approve contract with Convenient Urgent Care to provide sexually transmitted infection services for the period of 4/1/15 to 9/30/15, and authorize Larry Johnson to sign the same.
Second.
Any discussion on this? If not, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Horvath,
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz,
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott.
Yes.
Motion to approve contract with Memorial Healthcare to provide sexually transmitted infection services for the period of 1/1/15 to 9/30/15, and authorize Larry Johnson to sign the same.
Support.
Any further discussion? If nothing further, a roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Horvath,
Yes.
Commissioner Olshausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Schneider,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Bartz,
Yes.
Commissioner Plowman,
Yes.
Commissioner Elliott.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, you're not going to be a poster child for this, are you?